It's a good point. All right, we're gonna have a pre-show. Yeah, that's it. We'll talk about that too. Let's have a pre-show. All right. This is a pre-show here on the Rants of Izzo on Spreely.com. Spreely means speak freely, right? It's a compound word for all those who are wondering about it. Speak freely, put into one word. You can speak freely here. We are extremely beyond proud to be a part of this network because they don't censor. Everything is free speech here. There's a great social media platform. If you're interested in getting involved with it, you go to Spreely.com and you'll see podcasts there, vidcasts there, other shows like the Burn Pit podcast, Report and Opine, Alan and Mark Lobliner, who are they just came to the network last month, and it's Evening Rants. You've got Burn Pit podcast, Shannon Joy. There's a ton of stuff on there. There's swag if you want like non-hormonally injected meat and whatnot. You can find it there as well too. Spreely is 100% pro free speech, and we're very, very, very happy to be part of it. All right, today got our guest back. The diva, queen of all divas herself, is back with us. It's been a long fucking time. We'll get into it. What's been going on? Looks how you're glowing. Oh my God, you're glowing. It's going to be a great damn show. All right, a couple different things to support the show. Don't forget to buy my book, Before the Badge, Everything You Need to Know Before You Become a Cop. It's available at wordsmatterpublishing.com, Barnes & Noble, and Amazon. You can get on Amazon. Sponsor the show. We are 100% listener and viewer sponsored. Guys, if you like this, go to rantsofizzo.com. There's a donate button there. I gotta make sure it's still there. Hang on. Let me take a look really quickly. I never even checked. There's a download button there. Watch this show. Is there a donate button on here? Whoa, that's backwards. There's a learn more button. There's no donate button. Wait a second. There's a monthly membership, Cost Club, Rants of Izzo Coffee. We've got Jen's working on that one. There's learn more. We got to look at that. There's backwards words on my website. Okay. There is a donate button. Never mind. I'm looking at it right now. It's at the very top. Donate button. Lola, is there anything that you want to tell people how they could sponsor and support you at all?
You post my Instagram, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't actually get into my Twitter at the moment. You know, I'm locked out of it.
Why are you locked out of it?
I don't know. I'm locked out of it for 30 days.
Oh, because you probably posted something. Well, if we've seen your Twitter, we know what you post on there, so it's not controversial. It's just kind of like, damn.
That's allowed on Twitter.
I know it is.
The stuff I post on Instagram is more controversial.
All right, let's have a show.
Can you hear me clearly, by the way?
Yeah, we can.
Prepare yourself.
The opinions of the host and guests on this show are exclusively just that, opinions. That means that they shouldn't be the cause of your state of being offended. Why does everybody get so butthurt?
Okay, let's go. Ready, go!
Sit down, shut up, and pay attention.
Damn!
This is the Rants of Izzo Show with your host, Dominic Izzo, from porn to politics. We touch every third rail we can find. You might want to put your headphones on so your mom can't hear this. It's been called the most entertaining 60 minutes on the internet, and it starts now. Let's do this.
Good afternoon. This is the Rants of Izzo here on Spreely.com. Hope you guys are doing well, awesome, fantastic. It's Thursday. Gorgeous day out here in Chicago. I'm sure out in England it's awesome. We can find all about that because she's back. Oh my God, it's been quite a long time. Our favorite diva in the world, Lola Christine, is back. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm just trying not to flash you all.
We're free speech, but we stream on other platforms. We would love if you flash us, but you know it's going to get us taken down. How are you? Where you been? How you been? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm back now. Feeling better. Just been going through some personal things.
Oh,
which are all sorted now. So
I heard you were on like some exotic cruise surrounded by like those Asian Persian men with the big leaves. They were fanning you, feeding you grapes and whatnot.
that's just a regular day for me.
Oh, right there. Hey, listen, it is, but we got a ton of stuff to talk about. You're back. It's fucking awesome. Everybody missed you. I was getting texts and whatnot. When's Lola coming back? So you had your fans, man. Your fans missed you. Let's jump right into it. There's a ton of stuff I want to talk about today because one of my favorite things to do for show content, I do politics, I do law enforcement, I do all that. But when I want like fun stuff, I go to your Instagram and I look at your stories, and you're always posting stuff like crazy. I asked you before the show. We'll touch base on it just because I think it's important. And you had something on there. It is Pride Month out here in the United States. I don't know. Do you guys have Pride Month in England?
Oh yeah, yeah, we have Pride.
When is that?
In every city. Every city has one.
When is your month?
Every city has them like in different times. Do you know what I mean? It's not all going to be in July. They try and spread it out so that everybody can kind of nobody misses out, I suppose.
No, it's
but
pretty much
it's all around this time of year, July, August.
You and I first did a podcast, like 2 years ago, and I had you on because I wanted to be more educated about the trans community instead of being just, this is my view and this and that. And I had you on, and it was awesome. You gave the best explanation for trans I've ever heard, and I've tell people about it. But you don't share a lot of the same opinions as the LGBTQ community. Do you celebrate Pride Month, or has it changed? Like when I was much younger and in the bar industry, I never got to go, but it was always when we got off work, because I worked at a 4 a.m. bar, it was, man, when Pride Month rolled around, you had to go to the Gay Pride Parade in Chicago, and I never got to go, and I wanted to go because it seemed like an awesome damn time. It's like you're in the streets, you're celebrating, it's fun, who cares, whatever. Now it's like, dude, shut up, everything is gay. I went to the pet store yesterday to get fish food, and right up front there's a big display of gay dog pillows at Petco. I'm like, what the fuck, man? So did you enjoy it? Was it celebratory? And now, like, do you have a different view?
Pride used to be about unity and having a good day out and just celebrating freedom, really, and being able to be who you wanted to be. That's what Pride used to be about. It used to be one day, and it'd be a big piss up, and it used to be fun. Like I'm talking 10 years ago was the last time I went to anything like that. But it's become something else now. It's like all of these movements, it's been hijacked and changed into something else now. And it's just a big excuse for people to wear hardly any clothes and act really filthy. And if you want to do that, fine, I've got no problem with that, as you know, but people are taking the kids and stuff to these pride parades, and there's people in thongs and I don't want to see that. Like, never mind little kids and stuff, but I think the parents are more to blame, really, for taking the kids to this sort of thing. Yeah. Yep. But all of these events all say the same. It's kid friendly. It's kid friendly. Bring your kids, and they try and make it like a family thing, but it's not that anymore. It's just a sleazy thing now, I think, for a lot of people. Just an excuse to go out and get pissed and have as much sex and take drugs and just, who needs a mum to celebrate that, and why take your kids?
Everything you said, I don't have a problem with it. Somebody wants to get drunk, take drugs, and have consenting adult sex. I have zero problem with that. I don't care.
You're an adult.
You're an
adult. You can do that.
100%. I just don't understand the importance of forcing an agenda on children. I don't get it. I tell all the time, like, I stumbled on porn at 9 years old. It warped my mind. I'm extremely sexually deviant. It is what it is. And it's like, okay, great. There's that. I don't want to be a safe haven. I don't want to be a safe haven for some kid to come up and talk about his sexuality with. I don't want that at all. Do you get pressured by people from the LGBTQ community? Because you have a level head. You're
pressured how?
Like, to be more involved as like a leader in the movement because of who you are.
No, I think I'd be surprised if most of the community even knew who I am at this point, because I try and keep myself to myself. I don't go to gay bars. I don't really have any gay friends or trans friends. I have one trans friend, and she's all the way down in Brighton. I don't mix with that crowd, so nobody could really tell me to do out anyway. But
okay,
no,
then I want to
I feel
ask. I want to ask a very sensitive question that I want to move on to some fun topics because I do want to highlight a safety issue. You hear a lot about trans women are not safe and they're being attacked by people and this and that, and they're targeted. Two sides of this coin. Number one, do you feel safe as a trans woman, and do you feel you're targeted in general? Like by hateful, masculine, cis men, whatever it is, or women. And then the second part is, what about when you go to straight bars and somebody hits on you because you look 10 times better than most fucking women on the planet, and then they have an interest in you, they fall infatuated with you, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, hey, let me explain something to you. That's where I see danger in a man's inability to go, what? And then control their emotions. And all of a sudden, yeah, you're at risk. How do you mitigate that risk and keep yourself safe?
Does it really happen to me? I don't really feel threatened, or I don't feel any sort of way anywhere I go now. And I think it's because I think people, whether they can tell that I'm trans or not, because I appreciate what you just said about that I look good, which, thanks. But if you saw me in person, particularly on a night out, if I've got heels on, I'm over 6 foot in heels. So that immediately gets people's attention and for that reason, and then certain people can figure out, or if whether they do or they don't, I don't really care, but I would never mislead anyone. And I kind of just think if they can't tell, it's their fucking problem. But I don't go out on the pull and do that kind of thing anyway. Now I'm too old for that sort of stuff.
Bones creak.
I can't remember the first question. You should only ask me one question at a time, Dominic, because my brain.
Do you feel openly at risk? Like, are you, as the trans community, are they at risk to being attacked just arbitrarily out of nowhere? Are you unsafe?
Me personally, I feel completely safe anywhere that I go. I never feel unsafe. I never have. And I tell you what I do think is happening. I think since all of this LGBT, trans bullshit, non-binary agenda has started, and they've started pushing it on kids, and they've started trying to fucking force it down everybody's throats with all the branding and the retards like Dylan Mulvaney everywhere. Since they've started doing this and pushing it so much, what it's doing is it's making normal brained people think, I don't want this. I don't like this. I'm against this. And people who were at one point okay with it, as long as you kept, mind your own business, keep to yourself. Those people that were fine with it are now developing a hatred for trans people and gay people because of this agenda. And it's all being done on purpose. That's why it's being blown up so much, because it's typical divide and conquer. This is no different to BLM, but it's a different minority group.
100%.
They're not helping anyone in the long run anyway. It's all going to divide people. It's going to divide the LGBT community. It already has, really, I suppose, because there's people like me who avoid it like the plague, because I don't want to be associated with it, because I don't agree with a lot of it, and I don't need to fucking walk around with a fucking rainbow and fucking tell everyone what transitioning used to be about wanting to feel comfortable going out in public, not having gender dysphoria, and blending in. That's what it used to be about. It used to be about blending in, passing, and not getting any trouble. And now it's changed into something where you're to be celebrated and to be forced down everybody's fucking throat and telling kids that it's normal. It's not normal. It's not. It's a mental disorder that a very small part of the population are born with. And the rest of all these fuckers are just attention-seeking, autistic, talent.
They're ruining
ugly.
an issue.
And they just want to be part of a group now and admit it.
They're ruining an issue, just like all the women out there who. I don't mean to be an ass, but being an ass is like a false rape allegation. You're ruining it for all the people who actually have credible rape allegations, or somebody comes out.
Exactly.
And what you just said too about the divide and conquer, I've been complaining about that the last couple of days. I keep seeing black crime like crazy all over the place, and it's making me like tap into some very serious bias and racist like anger. Really does. And I'm like, holy shit, they're doing it on purpose. I know. I appreciate you talking about that. I appreciate you sharing. It's like, it is what it is. Let's have some fun conversations. Let's
talk about lizard people.
Dude, yeah, because there's so much you post about lizard people. The David Icke, who's talked about that for years. It blows me away. He's been on London Real as many times as he has with Brian Rose. And David Icke.
That blows you away. Why does that blow you away?
I don't know, because I took Brian Rose very serious for somebody. It's kind of hard, right? Brian Rose, as it was on a path, he came up at the same time that Patrick Bet-David did, and Brian Rose had a bigger platform. And now it seems, I don't know what he's doing, but I don't follow him anymore.
What happened to Brian Rose? I've not heard. He sort of disappeared.
He ran for mayor of London. And
he did, yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously didn't win.
And his podcasts were you were somebody if you were on him. He introduced the world to Dan Pena, and he would have on some great people. But he had on David.
I've not seen him for a while.
No, he had on David Icke several times, and David Icke had a very, very big YouTube following until that was canceled and all that stuff. But David Icke was very big into the lizard people. Yeah. Have you noticed how there's still adverts on YouTube videos with David Icke on them? No.
But so it's been banned from YouTube. But when you get the adverts, I've seen adverts for like his books and stuff on YouTube. So they're still taking his adverts, but they've banned him off the platform.
It's so weird. I got involved with his stuff because I was fascinated by his severe arthritis. I'm like just watching his hand. Oh my gosh! But he talked about he was very big. It still does. So David Icke was a professional soccer or football player out in your country, and then I think he had a mental breakdown where he was on a celebrated talk show out in Europe where he said he was the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. But if you listen to him now, he's very, very intelligent. And if you didn't know it, if David Icke if the world went black and we had 100 years of no media whatsoever and no ability to write stories down, and we were back to the cave drawing stages, David Icke would be the person that you surrounded the campfire by and listened to every word he say, because he's that brilliant of a storyteller. He's big. Well, this came out in 2022, but it's making the rounds now. He's been talking about the blue bloods for a while, the lizard people. You've talked about that several times on the show. So let's first talk about what's a blue blood and what's this lizard people associated to the royal family thing.
Okay. So the blue blood term comes from their supposed blood type, which is supposed to be, and I'm sure they can't all be this, but a large portion of this bloodline is Rh negative, which is the only blood type that's completely incompatible with all of the blood types. If a woman gets pregnant and she's Rh negative and she gets pregnant to a man with a different blood type, she has to have an immunosuppressant injection to stop her body from killing the baby.
Oh, wow.
Like, the rest of humanity rejects this bloodline, there's a reason for that. But I'm not saying everybody that's Rh negative is evil, but it goes to that. A lot of them will be in the royal family. I mean, a lot of them will be that blood type. So, yeah, and they're all connected. All the celebrities, a lot of them have royal connections. A lot of them are inbred. A lot of people don't realize that Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt are both related to the Queen, and they're both inbred technically. And it's the same with a lot of celebrities. Madonna, Ellen is related to Kate Middleton. Meghan Markle, she's related to the Queen as well. They're all related together. So this royal bloodline stretches back to ancient times, ancient Egypt, ancient Mesopotamian times, the Sumerians, all that. This royal bloodline comes from there, and they're controlling Europe now. So the British royal family, who are actually British, they're German. Their real name is Saxe-Coburg-Gotha, so it's not Windsor. They changed it to that to sound more British, but they're actually German Nazi descent.
Holy shit.
And they shouldn't be on the throne at all, because they're not even. There was a break in the royal bloodlines. I think it was Richard III got dug up in a car park 10 years ago, and looking into him, they found out that one of Queen Elizabeth's ancestors was a bastard. So it's an illegitimate royal bloodline completely. They're not a real royal bloodline. They're just a parasitical bloodline that's taken over this world, and they control everything.
Yeah, full
That was a
disclosure.
ramble.
Full disclosure. I asked, just for the listening and viewing audience, I asked Lola before the show, I said, would you please go into greater detail when we talk about subjects, because a lot of people don't know what you know. And holy shit, you're a fucking walking thesaurus. I'm sure. No, well, no, you're a walking encyclopedia. All right, so let's go down.
ADHD brain.
Dude, it's insane. It's like we've talked about this too. I'd be stressed out like crazy if I knew what you knew. All right, so it's been making the rounds now that literally King Charles is a descendant of Vlad the Impaler, Dracula, who he was blood of. So, all right, I'll talk about that for a second. Then I want to ask a legitimate question. Does that mean that vampires are real? If that's the case, is this giving legitimacy to it?
Do you believe in adrenochrome? All of that?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
It's the same thing. What a vampire drinks blood because they need it to survive. They get life force from drinking somebody else's blood. Well, what is adrenochrome? They're getting a high to the point where they're so addicted to it that they get so sick if they don't take it, allegedly. And it's literally the drinking adrenalized blood. So what does that sound like to you? Sounds like a vampire to me.
Dude, I've made this comparison a lot, right? So if you break this down faith-wise and biblically wise, like I never understood why Christians are always talking about there's power in the blood of Jesus, and there's so much reference in the Bible to bloodshed. Like originally, before Christ was born as a man and he was sacrificed, you had to sacrifice a lamb to God, and there was bloodshed, and it happened. I don't know how often it happened, but it happened frequently. And then the Catholic service, which in my opinion, after so much, this is the book I was trying to tell everybody about for a long time. If you ever want to break out of your Catholicism, this book is called Biblical Answers to Catholic Questions. Biblical Answers to Catholic Questions. So next time a Catholic comes up and says, you have to pray to Mary, break the book out and say, no, let me explain why you don't. Because the Catholic Church, again, I'm not trying to be offensive. I believe that the
worship false idols, don't they?
Well, I believe that there's some satanic influence in the Catholic Church. And here's why. So I'm going to, you may know this, I don't, but I'm going to say this, see if you do know this. So what does the Catholic Church do every Sunday? They perpetuate the sacrifice, right? Which is, here's the body and blood of Christ, and they ring the bells, and the Holy Spirit does whatever. And now I went to 8 years of Catholic grammar school, so I'm not downplaying this, and I was Catholic up until probably 2013. So, but anyways, it's a perpetuation of a ritual. And it's like, if you really believe in Jesus, then he came, he died for you. It's one and done. It's over. The bloodshed is what's very interesting for me. I knew two people, one not directly, but one inadvertently, who visited Chicago. We're not from here, from California. The other one was from Texas. Came here, went downtown to the city of Chicago. One person, I've told this story, it's public, completely changed in their demeanor, got physically violent towards me. It was not the person I had seen. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? It's crazy. Attacked me. The other person, this was a couple weeks prior, after visiting Chicago, went back home to California, attacked his fiance or wife or whatever it was. She said that he went apeshit crazy. Something went wrong with him. He killed himself in front of her, put a gun to his head. And as he was laying on the floor dead, she saw him morph or transform, if you will, back to himself. She had said it did not look like him while he was going on his insane rant, and then killed himself.
Who's this she on about?
What's that?
Who's this she talking about? Who killed themselves?
I'll tell you off air. what we were talking about was the bloodshed in Chicago, right? There's so much demonic energy in Chicago because of all that bloodshed that goes on there, and that's what Satan needs. The parallel that I saw this is, if Christ is one and done, and this is ultimately my thoughts, and I'll let you break this down. So Jesus dies one and done, we're saved by the blood. Satan can't duplicate that, so he needs as much bloodshed as possible, right? You got the babies who are sacrificed to Moloch, all this kind of shit. I noticed right in Chicago, fucking ridiculous. I mean, how many 40 people shot every weekend in Chicago? I never noticed stuff like this until I saw the movie Dark Crystal. Well, I saw it when I was a kid, but I put two and two together. Have you ever seen Dark Crystal, the Jim Henson movie? So
no, I don't think so.
In this movie, there are beings, and they are separated at the beginning of time into two different entities. And one are the mystics, they're kind, loving, very slow-moving, methodical creatures. And the others are the Skeksis. And if you watch this, it's a very big Jim Henson production. And it's like kids will get traumatized watching it. In the movie, the Skeksis are the ruling class, and they're the evil. They look very lizard-like. They're very disheveled, and they're deteriorating over time. And what they would do to keep themselves immortal was drink the essence of something called the Gelfling. Now, what they did is they exterminated all the Gelfling, and they couldn't get the longevity out of their essence. So this dark crystal would come down, beams would shine into the eyes of the Gelfling, and their essence would drain into tubes, and they would drink the tubes, drink the beakers of essence. So they had these podlings. So they would round up these little podling people, and they would do the same process. They would drink their essence, but it was immediately temporary. So they would get young right away, and then 2 seconds later, they would go. So that I went, holy shit. What if Satan cannot duplicate the process of Christ's bloodshed? So that's why he needs so much fucking bloodshed on this earth, and why these people are drinking blood and adrenochrome is because they can't keep it going as much. They've got to nonstop perpetually fill their system with blood because it's just not one and done. It was a long rant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting theory.
Thoughts? Do you ever look at the Catholic Church and be like, yeah, that's some satanic shit there? Because they're perpetuating the bloodshed every cycle, and they're saying it's Jesus's blood.
I think all man-made religions are just there to control people. And the Catholic Church is the head of a lot of them. Islam came from the Islamic Church.
Oh, you said about that. Say that again. Talk about that.
So Islam was invented by the Islamic Church.
This blind and deaf dog is about to be shot by a cop.
Sorry, what the hell was that? Go ahead.
Maybe I shouldn't talk about that.
No, you should. Go ahead.
What was I saying?
Islam came from the Catholic Church. You're the one. You told me about that off air.
The Prophet Muhammad was planted there and raised. He was controlled by the Catholic Church, and it was to get control of the Middle East and all the people in it. But I really do think all man-made religions, even I know you're a Christian. I think Christianity is a psyop.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
I think Christianity is a psyop to get people to sit and wait, thinking that Jesus is going to save them or the rapture is going to come.
Dude, 100% in action. 100%. I agree with you on that in so many ways, because you know how many times I've struggled by sitting there saying, well, man, if Christ is coming back soon, like soon is a relative term. 6,000 years from now could be soon. It doesn't matter to him. I do believe he exists. I do. I believe he is real. I believe in the Holy Spirit. I believe in the Father, all that. But I don't believe that it's like, I don't know when he's coming, so he can come tonight or he can come, 7,000 years from now. But what I had noticed myself doing is like giving up. It's like, well, what the fucking point? Why should I work out? Why should I make money if he's coming back soon? He's just going to come back and clean up all the mess. It's easily controlled to keep men like me from achieving in life. It's like, fuck this, dude. And yeah, I'm not a Christian. I said a million times, because until Christians are not as hypocritical as they are some of the most hate-filled fucking humans I have ever met. Until that changes, I will never associate with them. No.
Yep.
What were we talking about?
What
were we talking about? I was staring at your tits. Fuck.
I'm trying not to fucking.
I don't care. They're fine. So everybody else is staring at your tits too. All right.
That's the only reason you have me on. Just to be honest.
Oh fuck it. What are you kidding? Duh. I'm a guy. Fucking tits are great. We're talking about the blue light. So Dracula. We were talking about him originally. So Vlad the Impaler and the king.
So yeah, King Charles. I don't even like calling him that because he's not my king and he's dead. But he is a direct descendant of Vlad the Impaler, which is the person who Bram Stoker got his inspiration for Count Dracula from, because he was so brutal with everyone. Like, it was brutal. He used to fucking put all of his enemies on sticks and stuff. Like, I don't even want to go into it. Loads of stuff. But it's not surprising that they're all connected. It's not surprising at all. He's even got property in Transylvania, I think.
What?
King Charles, and he stayed there in a castle for a certain amount of time with some orphans or something. God knows. Google it. It's all there. It's not even like hidden. It's on Google.
Did you ever see the video of that naked guy like trying to scale out of the royal palace or whatever?
Yeah, I did.
Was that real?
Whenever you look into it and to find out if it's real, it says that it came from like a sketch show, like it was a joke on a sketch show, but there's no link to that actual episode or the sketch show that I can find.
Do you think the royal family would let? I don't think the royal family has a kind of sense of humor to that. You think they would let? We want to have a skit of a naked man in the back garden, blah blah. You think they would let that happen?
No, I don't. I've seen the video. It looks very much like Buckingham Palace. It looks very real. It was a bit before all these AI videos and stuff come out, so we can't exactly say that it's fake. But the excuse for it is that it was for a sketch show that nobody can find the episode of. So.
I don't believe that shit at all, dude. AI is going to do a lot of things like crazy. AI is going to, like the advances. I don't know if you've paid attention at all. 9 months ago, you do. Oh my God. It's like, here's an AI video of Will Smith eating spaghetti and it looks really psychedelic and disturbing. Now it's like, dude, AI is going to replace, like, there's going to be no need for Hollywood actors. You take their likeness and you could put them in 5, movies a month if you want to. It's insane.
Porn.
Porn. I worry about that.
I'm seeing loads of AI porn lately. Loads of it. It's all over Twitter. Although I've not been on it for a few weeks. I'm cut out, as I told you. But
I haven't realized.
Yeah, I've seen loads of it on Twitter. Loads.
Fucking money shot has got to be ridiculous. You talked about CERN a little bit. You brought that up. Didn't they just do? They did some experiment last month with something. Oh, wait, Bev says that was debunked. Hang on a second. Over in the chat, for those,
it was turned on again, wasn't it?
Yeah, for those who are 1 and 2, we have a Rants of Izzo show chats available on Telegram. Oh, I should have said this too. The phones are open. 708-982-0974. If you ever want to talk to Diva, 708-982-0974. You can just call and ask her a question. Bev says that was debunked. It was from The Crown, I believe. And like I said to everybody that played that video, how do those horses just appear so quickly? Huh. The Crown, that's a Netflix series, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That I haven't watched.
No, neither have I. CERN was supposed to, I want to look that up. Let's see if CERN has any CERN activation. CERN's trying to do the God particle stuff or what? Why is CERN being?
Well, yeah, they turned it on again, didn't they? Was it last month or the month before?
Yeah.
But nothing happened that I noticed.
After more than 3-year pause for upgrades, the accelerator run by European Organization for Nuclear Research, or CERN, is collecting data again. It's this time it's out to prove the existence of another mysterious substance, dark matter. What? Okay, what is dark matter? Let's take a look.
It's some made-up NASA bullshit. That's what it is.
Dark matter In astronomy, dark matter is a hypothetical form of matter that appears to not interact with light or the electromagnetic field. How do you explain dark matter? Unlike normal matter, dark matter does not interact with electromagnetic force. This means that it does not absorb, reflect, or emit light, making it extremely hard to spot. In fact, researchers have been able to infer the existence of dark matter only from the gravitational effect it has on visible matter. Yeah, they got a whole NASA article online, but I don't fucking trust NASA for shit, dude. I swear to God, do you ever, there was a movie, I can't remember the name of it. It recently came out, and they were talking about, it's not space that we need to be concerned about, it's the ocean, and how, like, aliens and all that other shit are actually in the ocean, and that's where we need to look at, all that kind of crap.
Well, space doesn't exist at all.
I'm just going to shut up now.
But the Bible says that there's waters above.
Right.
And those rockets that hit the firmament, and the one that Elon did, and I've seen multiple. They look like they under like a speedboat going across water. That's what it looks like when it hits the firmament. So it looks like water. Stars look like. Have you ever looked at like water when it's got sunlight on like a swimming pool floor when it sort of twinkles when it goes through the water? That's what stars look like up close. It all looks like very like watery, and that's what the Bible says. So maybe they're telling us the truth without actually telling us the truth with that one.
So there was something that I found out when I was listening to Rob Skiba. It's called Operation Dominic. Dominic.
The dome fishbowl.
So Operation Dominic was done in 1968, and they shot missiles up into the atmosphere. And it's like nothing.
For no apparent reason at all. For no reason. They just shot missiles into the sky to see what.
Well, you would think they would go right in. They would just continue on. That's it. But they have recorded explosions of each one that went into the sky. It's not like they detonated them, they hit something. And it's kind of hilarious when you think about it, because Dominic in Latin, which they base most things off of, it means belonging to the Lord.
Of the Lord.
Yeah. It was fucking hilarious.
And also, Dominic sounds a bit like dome.
Oh, shit.
There was also Operation Fishbowl. I'm not sure if it was the same one under a different name or if that was before, but that was another same thing where they shot rockets up into the sky for no apparent reason.
I always wondered about it too. And I know that rain comes from clouds because they've had visual pictures of light, or visual, like aircraft will be above clouds. But I always thought, it's like, why is the sky blue? Because there's water above us?
Maybe.
Could be.
Maybe there's water above us. Maybe the firmament is made of, there's like it's a type of ice. Oh, what's it called? And it's bright blue to look at. They found it and studied it in Antarctica, and it doesn't behave like normal ice. It doesn't melt with heat in your hand. It's really weird. And you can't touch it. You've got to use gloves because it's like super cold.
Dry ice.
It's not dry ice. That's the smoky stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's like that.
I think it's called crystal oxygen or something like that. It's a type of oxygen where it's in a solid form. I can't remember the name of it. We'll go with crystal oxygen or something like that.
Okay.
But it's bright blue in color, and that is supposedly what the firmament could be made of. Who knows? But there's also all the different gases. When they've had light shine through them, they shine different colors. That's why it's at nighttime. It can turn orange and purple and all different colors and red. It's because of the gases in the atmosphere that are being lit up by the sun that's moving over us. We are circling it.
Huh.
Just FYI.
That make fucking A, dude. Yeah, no, I get addicted to that stuff all the time, and I love how anytime I say, if the world is flat, and you immediately, it is flat. I like that shit. I wonder, because I really want to know, like if we're ever going to get the truth about Antarctica is one of my favorite shit. It's supposed to be green. Antarctica is supposed to be green. You have Admiral Byrd who went down there. Everybody says what he saw, all this shit, and again, allegedly too. There's been some like some YouTubers, and you can't find this shit anymore because the YouTube scrubs it. It's like all the cool stuff from YouTube is gone. What's his name? Pharaoh? Wasn't he on there? Shit, the black guy. Black guy's name was Pharaoh, young Pharaoh.
I know who you mean.
His stuff was awesome.
Where's he gone actually?
I don't know. Young Pharaoh. Yeah, he was a musical artist. Is he still on YouTube? Oh, I got to find this out. I haven't. Yeah, yes, his stuff used to circulate all the time. No, he's not. Well, it's his music, Young Pharaoh. Holy shit, dude. But he would talk about, like, I guess, why my BMS are going. Oh yeah, he doesn't really have his own YouTube channel anymore. Shit. But what the fuck was I talking about? They say that's where the angels were cast out and landed in Antarctica.
I thought it was the Arctic. Was it not them?
What's the difference?
Was it not Mount Meru?
What? Where did?
Is that not where the angels came down? And that's what the Paramount thing that comes on before every film, where the stars come down and then they all go like that over the mountain. Is that not supposed to signal the fallen angels?
Are you kidding?
Going over Mount Meru? Yeah.
Holy shit. Well, you know what's hilarious is people talk about this one too, and everything's entertaining to me. You get the Paramount lady, who what's she doing? She's holding a torch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Lucid light bearer.
Yeah,
like the Statue of Liberty.
There you go. That's where I was going. Statue of Liberty. Where do the angels get cast down to?
Are you Googling?
I am. They say something about
Google Mount Meru fallen angels and see what it says.
Meru.
Or is it Mount Hermon?
Okay, Mount Hermon.
No, try Meru first.
I don't even know how to spell Meru.
Meru.
Well, this is Mount Hermon in the Book of Enoch. Mount Hermon is the place where the Watchers, the class of fallen angels, descended to Earth. Descended to Earth. Where's the? Oh, it doesn't say anything about that. There's a sacred building made of a few hewn blocks of stone on the summit of Mount Hermon, known as Quasar Antiar. It is the highest temple of the ancient world and was in a documentary in 1869 by Sir Charles Warren. An inscription on limestone recovered from Warren and Quasar was translated by George Nicholsberg to read, "According to the commandments of the greatest and holy God, those who take an oath from here." That's all it says. So this is known as the Mountain of the Oath. Okay. All right.
Am I on about the right mountain or not?
I would say so. How did you spell Meru?
Meru.
M-E.
That might be a totally different mountain that's stuck in my brain.
Yeah, well, I said I typed in Mount Meru, Fallen Angels, and it kicked back Mount Hermon.
Right, okay. Well,
yeah, worship at Holy Mount Meru and other. I'm just going to type in Mount Meru. Let's see what that does. Mount Meru. Mount Meru.
I think Mount Meru is Rupes Nigra at North Pole.
Hey,
I might be wrong.
You're not a racist show here. What? Mount Meru's in Tanzania.
Okay, it's definitely not that then, I don't think.
Okay, no. Tanzania is what, South America?
I don't know where I've got that mountain from then. It was the other one, Hermon. That's the one I meant.
Shit. Yeah, well, and there's so much stuff that is accurate. You've seen
and like the coordinates for where it is.
Well,
and
that's
like the stuff. They're all like 33. It's really strange.
Right. And then the 33-year Masons. Rob Skiba, before he died, he did a ton of stuff, right? And one thing he was showing was like how 666 is everywhere. I didn't know like the biological makeup for like man is 666. If you like, if you break down DNA and convert it or whatever, it's mathematically 666. But and
that's why it's inverted. That's why it's been inverted to mean Satan, because it doesn't actually mean that. It means mankind. But everybody thinks 666 means Satan now, and everybody associates it with that, and that's probably what it actually means now because of everybody's association with it. But that's not what it originally meant.
You said with CERN?
Sorry?
You've seen the CERN symbol is 666, right?
Yeah, the 666 is insane. Yeah, and they've got all the fucking weird, like God. They've got
Shiva.
Shiva, yeah, the god of war, the Hindu god of war. They've got him there. He's the god of destruction.
Yeah, outside of fucking CERN is the Shiva, the statue of Shiva. It's fucking ridiculous.
Someone just rang me.
What do they want?
I didn't answer.
Don't they know Diva is like occupied right now?
I've got it on Do Not Disturb, so how are they still ringing me?
Well, they must be like some important, like need their daily dose of Diva going on there. Holy shit. Damn it. I had a great train of thought. Oh, so Rob Skiba said that like if you did the coordinates, and I don't know what it would be. Like, let me see. Latitude, longitude, longitude 666 is Middle East. Longe 666. Okay, find latitude, longitude 666. I don't know how that would turn up to be, but it's like that's in the Middle East, and they're saying it's like that's right where like if you did that, and I don't fucking know. Okay, it's not going to come up with that.
We're in the Middle East.
GPS coordinates. Oh, six. Yeah, but location, whatever. I don't know how to calculate it.
We're in the Middle East, like Iraq.
Right. Yeah, that doesn't show anything. I think it would be 6 longitude. Let's see, lat 6 longitude 66. Would that come up anywhere? Oh, hang on a second. It is.
Are you searching for? Are you searching for 666?
Yeah, I typed in. No, it comes up in fucking Siberia. It's weird. Yeah, I typed in lat 6 and longitude 66, and it came up in like fucking the upper crust of fucking Russia. Yeah, it's the city. There's an airport. I can't even pronounce it. It's Russian airport, but it is what it is. I don't fucking know. But that's what Rob Skiba was saying, is that's where the angels were cast out into, and that's where they are. Well, that kind of jazz.
Yeah, potentially.
You don't believe so?
Listen.
So what
Who
happened?
knows? I don't know. I don't know what to make of all of that. I have my opinions about things, but when it comes to the Bible, I think it's a mixture of truth and lies. I think you're supposed to decode the Bible. I don't think you're supposed to just read it and just take it for it. I think it needs to be decoded and understood properly.
Do you think the Earth is 60 billion years old?
No.
How do you well, because we've talked about this. You don't think dinosaurs?
Listen, do you know what? Who actually knows? Who knows? I can't in my mind fathom the creation of it. Like, I believe in a God. I believe in a creator. I believe that we were here for a purpose, created. This place is for us. Everything designed perfectly as it's meant to be. I believe that. But at the same time, my brain.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit, dude.
When it comes to the Bible, there's too much. No. So there's too much man-made influence in it for me to take it.
I saw some hilarious picture today that kind of gave me credence to what you were talking about. Somebody posted, it wasn't a pterodactyl. It was a statue or a clay fake, something that goes in a museum, pterodactyl type shit. And it was next to a man. Oh, thanks, Bev. Hang on, Bev. We'll get back to that. So I love having you guys part of the show. But it was this giant-headed pterodactyl bird that was like 30 feet high next to a man. And I'm like, how the fuck is that thing supposed to fly when the wingspan is only like 8 feet? And then
what is this that you're talking about? Is this like a picture that you've seen?
Yeah, it was a picture of like some museum piece, but it wasn't a fossil. It was like they take a feather and they go, okay, because that always blew me away. How like you get these archaeologists who get like a metatarsal bone, like a knuckle off of a fucking dinosaur. And based on that, they just, we're going to recreate the entire thing, including what their head looked like, what the body. It's like, wait, dude, so you're going to tell me that you could take like if they never knew what humans were, you could take a human finger and you're gonna get the shape of my head, my hips, all this. That I hate that stuff.
That's
I don't buy
literally
that.
what paleontology is. Paleontology is just guesswork. They found a few scraps of bones and guessed that there were these big, massive things, and it was just all garbage.
It fucking has to be. Here's what Bev has to say. Let's go looking over on the show chat. Do I have? Hang on. How do I do this? I don't want this. I want. All right. Bev says, damn it. I gotta scroll all the way down the bottom. Hang on. So I need Bev typed in, what is a latitude of 6.6 degrees? The polar circles are located near the poles of the Earth at 66.6 degrees north and south latitude. These are called the Arctic polar circles and the Antarctic polar circles. Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Would you go to Antarctica if you were, or is that like not bikini weather enough for you?
Oh, I'd go, but I'd get myself fucking locked up or shot or something because I would try and escape the little tour guide party. I'd be wanting to go off and explore on my own, and I'd probably get in trouble.
Fuck that, dude. I just don't get it. No, I don't get it.
Probably end up in an adrenochrome center.
I wonder. I have to wonder. Yeah, they don't. It kind of blows me away too. That whole conversation's gone. Nobody talks about it anymore. It's like for at least a year, at least a solid year, that was the biggest topic on everyone's social media, hashtag, but name it.
What brought it? It was the Q movement. It was Trump in 2020. It was the whole Q thing. That's what brought that to the surface. And
you never really given your opinion about that. Do you think that was a big psyop meant to distract people, or because I believe there's a lot of validity to it, a lot of it.
What?
The QAnon movement, like when they talk about adrenochrome, the child trafficking shit, I believe it. I believe that, or am I off my rock?
I believe it, but that's how any sort of controlled opposition bait and switch works. They tell you truth mixed with some very important key lies that you miss. So, they tell you some truth and it gets you hooked in, it gets you interested, and they're telling the truth about things. That makes you trust them. It makes you think everything they're saying is true, and it's not. And that I believe the fall of Cabal, which was one of the first like things that woke me up, I suppose. I believe that was a controlled thing because it was all about Trump.
Yeah,
it was all about making Trump the savior. He's going to come and save everyone. The White House.
Some of that stuff was really.
And still people now. There's still people 4 years on after he's pushed the fucking vaccine on everyone and said it was the greatest invention ever and left Julian Assange to rot and all this stuff that he did, what he could have done to really prove that he was a real person and he's looking out for the rest of humanity and mankind.
I have to
he could have done those things, but he didn't.
I have to wonder because they talked about in the fall Cabal, which you can't find. I've asked Bev to try to find it. She can't find it, but they have like the book, like the Adventures of Baron Trump, and that was legitimately written in like the 1800s or whatever. Here's what I believe.
It made it so believable though, didn't it? Do you know what Donald Trump's mum's called?
No.
Google it. She's called fucking Mary Christ or something stupid like that. She's got a really fucking ridiculous
Marianne McLeod Trump.
What's her name?
Marianne McLeod Trump.
Type in Donald Trump Christ or Donald Trump mum Christ or dad or something. One of them is his mum or his dad. They've got Christ in the name, and there's a whole story. And there was a video of a pastor. He's talking in a church about a story when Donald Trump was a kid and he survived a fire in a church.
Yeah, that's his father.
Massive thing.
Yeah, Frederick Christ Trump Sr.
Yeah, that's it. I know all sort of there. Like just things like that just stay in your mind. It makes you believe it. You know what I mean? But we don't know how long this has been planned.
That's my point.
When he was a kid.
That's my point. If the Adventures of Baron Trump, it's two children's novels written in 1889 and 1893, instead of saying, "Oh my God, this magically appeared out of nowhere," just like the bloodlines of queens and kings and shit, how do we not know that, hey, somebody from that line said, all right, this is the plan we're going to do. Let me put it this way. I don't think that anybody who plans a great war is stupid. So if you plan a great war that requires time, how do we know that there's not people 100+ years ago who said, listen, this is going to take 140 years. So what we have to do is set the stage. In 1940, you're going to have a kid. You have to name that kid Donald. You have to name your son Mike Pence, right? You have to raise Donald to say, listen, you have to. This is why you had to marry 3 women, because the first one didn't give him a son or whatever. Right? Yeah, they did. Second one, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You have to have a woman who's going to give you, and maybe Melania is of a certain bloodline, and say you have to name him Baron, because how do we know this stuff isn't all fucking planned?
We don't. But honestly, we don't. And like, there's the one with Elon Musk as well. Somebody from NASA, might have been Warner von Braun, wrote a book in the 60s or something about a guy the first man who goes to the moon, and he's going to be called Elon. And then we've got Elon
the fuck
now
up.
with the SpaceX. Do you know what I mean? There's little things like that, and it happens over the Kennedy assassination. Have you seen the similarities to
Lincoln?
Assassination?
It's been around for years. It's insane.
It's literally insane. Like, right down to the fact that he was in Marilyn Monroe. Kennedy was in Marilyn Monroe, and Lincoln was in Maryland. Like, even down to that, like, it was so crazy. But that's how deep it goes. That's how far the predictive programming probably goes. Like, even as far as that. So it's crazy. So yeah, I definitely think they could do that with the Trump story. That book could have been fake. It could have been written 20 years ago and just put on the internet for all we know. I've never seen anybody with a live copy of it. So,
urban legends of Kennedy and Lincoln. Here, the list of coincidences are: Lincoln and Kennedy each have 7 letters in it. Both presidents were elected to Congress in 1846 and 1946. Then later to the presidency of 1860 and 1960. Both assassins, John Wilkes Booth and Lee Harvey Oswald, were born in 1839 and 1939 and were known by their 3 names composed of 15 letters. Both ran from a theater and were caught in a warehouse. Oswald ran from a warehouse and was caught in a theater. Both assassins were Southerners. Both of the president's successors were Democrats and named Johnson with 6 letters in their first names, and both were born in 2008 of their respective years. Both Lincoln and Kennedy were particularly concerned with civil rights. Both presidents were shot in the head on Friday and in the presence of their wives. Lincoln had a secretary named Kennedy who told him not to go to Ford's Theater. Kennedy had a secretary named Evelyn Lincoln, and she warned him not to go to Dallas. Both Oswald and Booth were killed before they could put on trial. Yeah. Did you go to Strip? Where are you at? All right, we lost the diva there. The hell did you go? Yeah. Let's see. Some urban folklorists have postulated the list provides. This is ridiculous. She's gone. But this is what you get to do when you're a diva, right? Whatever the fuck you want. That's how things go. Like, did you just have to get up and go take I'm talking to myself at this point with like a minute left in the show because Lola literally got up and just diva her ass off the set and went to, for all I know, she went to go take a piss. I have no idea. Oh my God. Most of the items above on the list are true, such as in the year that Lincoln and Kennedy were both elected to president. But this is not so unusual given that the presidential elections are held only every 4 years. A few of the items are simply untrue. Example, Lincoln never had a secretary named Kennedy. And Lincoln's secretaries were John Hay and John Nicole. However, Lincoln's footman, William Crook, did advise Lincoln not to go that night to Ford's Theater. What is that? Okay. I don't know what she's doing. I'm literally watching. Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was a really long way.
Oh, you had to go. Yeah, you had to. That's fine. Oh, no.
Hold it, I'm sorry.
Listen.
I thought I would just sneak off whilst you were telling the Lincoln story.
I only had 7.
It ended up being a really long week.
I only had seven lists to talk about, one for every inch of, all right. Yeah, that's that. Cool. You're back. It's great to have you back on for this Thursday show. All right. For those who want to support Lola, go find Lola Christina over on Instagram. We are, full disclosure, we are trying to convince Lola to start her own podcast show. Trying to do that. So we're going to have some more conversation as time goes on. Guys, if you want to get involved with the show, you can get on the chat. It's the Rants of Izzo Show chat on Telegram. Go to Spreely.com. Sign up for the free speech social media platform. If you're on rantsofizzo.com or Spreely.com and you click on download Freedom Hub app, go right to your phone, and it's fantastic. Have a great damn day. Go out and do something for somebody today. Help them. Don't hurt them. Share the show. If you like what we had to talk about, it's fucking awesome. I can't think of anything else. Lola, you got any parting words of wisdom you want to share with everybody?
Hey, Levy. Nope, I'm back down. I've no words of wisdom.
C'est la vie. That's so 1980s-ish. Okay. All right. Have a great damn day, guys. Tomorrow, Friday, Kayla from Flex Your Feminine is joining us today. Tomorrow, no idea what we're going to talk about. We'll talk about something cool. That's it. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Lola, blow everybody a kiss. Say bye.